Another thing that is of very high importance is information about your faction. If you press this eagle, this window will just open. This window will give you information about your generals, other faction generals, and information about your empire. For example, right now you have this general, Lucius Julius. This is your faction, but you also have this general of House of Cornelia and this one of House of Junia. Although they are from different factions, they are from the same culture, so you will have direct control over all of them for now. Information that it gives, for example, Lucius Julius Libo will give you information about its rank, which will increase as you use it in more battles, its age, its ambition. Ambition represents a character's desire for personal power and glory. Her ambition increases the effect that a character gravita has on their party's influence. These are the gravitas. Gravitas, the higher they are, the higher the influence that your character will have in the party. Also, general has other property, authority, cuning, and seal. The higher these numbers in the authority, cuning, and seal will unlock new abilities for the general in the battlefield and will protect them from attacks. You can see here the traits that the general will automatically gain. Some will be good, some will be detrimental. And the skills. Not all the traits are automatic. You will, as your general increases in rank, you will add some of them.
When you selected a faction,
other information you got on this window are the details of your faction, regions you own. The total treasury you have is 5,000. The province owned, it says 0 because you are not controlling one entire province. Traits of your faction. This green bar in here, as it keep increasing, you will unlock better capacity. For example, right now you can only recruit 3 armies. You have 2 of 3 available. You can recruit a maximum of 3. A maximum of 2 fleets, 1 dignitary, 1 spy, and 1 champion. But as soon as your Imperium grows, you will be able to recruit more armies. For example, you can recruit a maximum of 6, a maximum of 9, and stuff like that. The diplomacy part will give you information about your military allies, who they are, defensive allies, which faction you are at war. Right now you are at war with the Ruskan League, and which faction are your trade partners. You have trade partners, the Syracuse faction. Other things that you need to know about are the objectives. In here, in this cup, if you press on it, the objective window will open and you can see your primary objectives are completely conquer 2 provinces either by direct ownership or through client state and military allies. But also you have secondary objectives if you want to do them. For example, hold the entirety of at least one of the following provinces: Magna Graecia or Italia. If you do that, you will receive an additional 1,000 in rewards. There also are the ultimate objectives to completely win the game. You can take a look at them by yourself. Let's close this window. There is also the trade and finance window. that will open as soon as you click on it, and it will give you information of your trades and finance. You will have, for example, this tax rate slider that you can increase or you can decrease. If you increase it, you will gain more money per turn. As you can see, I increase it, I decrease it, money changes, income next turn changes. Right? But there are tax effects. If your taxes are too high, you have a public order of a very negative public order. I will talk about public order in a few minutes. Or if your taxes are too low, you will not gain any money. Your incomes are in here. Right now you're gaining money by taxes, by slave population, by trade, and others. Also, there are your expenditures. You're spending money in your army upkeep, in your navy, and others. So, if you keep recruiting units and units and units, you will have a very large army upkeep, and that's a very bad thing. Your income next turn will be based off the total income minus your total expenditure. So that is where the number 2183 came from. In this side window, if you choose the trade menu,
The Trade tab details all resources.
it will give you information about your trade partners. By diplomacy, you can make trade agreements with other cultures or factions. Right now you have a trade agreement with the Syracuse faction, Syracuse culture. And per turn, you're gaining 76. The more trade accords you have, or trade agreements you have, the more money you will gain. And the summary, here you have everything what I say exposed in a very compact way. Just close this window and let's open the technology window. In this game you can upgrade some property about your military units and about civil stuff. For example, you can start researching the military brand. I click on it, and in 2 turns, that is what that 2 means. In 2 turns, I will already complete my research on supply reforms, and then a few of these lock will unlock, and a ramification system for upgrades of different stuff will appear. Same thing with the civil stuff, but first I will develop my military. This is very important, the technology. It will give you a military edge or technological edge over other factions. And then it's the diplomacy window.
In order to construct a proposal, double-click on a faction from...
If you click on the diplomacy window menu, this map will appear. For example, if you click on the Rome faction, the red areas will be areas that they are in dislike for you, or regions that will be unfriendly, hostile, or are at war with you. I can make diplomacy agreements with any of this faction. For example, let's try to do one. If I click, first, if I put my mouse pointer on appears, some information will appear, and this information will tell me stuff about the positive things that other factions think about me. For example, Epirus, they approve some things about me and they condemn some things about me, as you can see in the screen, right? If I choose, for example, Aldieri faction, they will also have some positive things to say about me and some negative things. Let, for example, see what the Carthage faction thinks. They approve some things. They right now don't condemn me, or Sparta, right? Or Athens. Athens right now is very friendly. They approve that I have treaties with them, battle support for Sparta, and they do not condemn anything, for now. Let's, for example, select Syracuse. No, I mean Carthage. And let's initiate a diplomacy by pressing the initiation button.
Does this pass for speech where you come from?
As you can see, I already got a non-aggression pact with them, but I will propose them a trade agreement. Let's add an offer. Trade agreement.
This option is used to broker trade agreements.
It says that the likelihood of success is low, but let's try. I press on the check my proposed offer, and they reject it. Sometimes they will accept, or sometimes they will reject. It all depends of how the factions thinks about you. Right now they don't want to make a treaty, but that's basically how diplomacy works. You select a faction, you propose things to them.
Enter, friend, and speak.
Right?
We surely have much to discuss.
And you increase your relationship with them. And by time, you may propose military alliance and stuff like that. This is the diplomacy system.